It is windy on the first Friday in April. Happy April Fool's Day, and we welcome you to the campus of Tivy High School. Tonight, your Tigers takes on the Antlers out of Tivy. And a very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball on Vype Live. Tigers has won 3 in a row after falling to Alamo Heights a couple of weeks ago. Come into tonight with a record of 5-2 in district play. They have been hot. Coming off of a win Tuesday night, a 7-6 victory on Tuesday night against Seguin, and a crazy 8-inning affair. Jackson Conover gets a start on the bump tonight for the Tigers. Meanwhile, for the Antlers tonight, they come in with a record of 3-4 here in district play. Not too bad. They are coming off a win against the Chargers of Bernie also on Tuesday night. So 2 teams coming off of wins and ready to make a dent in district play. Tigers win tonight. They will wrap up the first half of district play with a 6-2 record with with Canyon as well as Buda Johnson, both at 6-1. Coming up, pre-game festivities, starting lineups, national anthems, first pitch, all coming up here. We are ready to go. We are ready to play some baseball here from Tivy High School here in beautiful Kerrville, Texas. And you are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
A late-inning rally, a game-winning shot, a photo finish. Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school, plus all those memories that are on the line too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
All of us love sports, but not all sports are created equal. College sports have big budgets, dedicated alumni networks, and corporate sponsorships. Professional sports have even deeper pockets, millionaire owners, lucrative TV and radio deals, and merchandise sales. High school sports have you. Everyone agrees high school sports give us plenty of reasons to cheer. And now's a great time for us to give back. Supporting your hometown high school won't cost you much, but it will go a long way to ensuring the games we love the most are here to stay. Texas high school sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
There are no words to describe it. The isolation, the boredom, the loneliness. If you're wondering where your teenage son or daughter's spirit went, you're hardly alone. The past year has been devastating, especially for them. But here's the good news. They might just find it again, playing high school sports. Workouts that stimulate, teammates and coaches that care, the sense of belonging so many of us have been missing lately. That's what school sports are all about. The sense of achievement is real, and the camaraderie is hard to beat. Coping with uncertainty is difficult, but school sports can help the teenagers in your family start feeling like themselves again. Encourage them to give it a try. High school sports, it's so much more than a game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Back here, the Tivy High School. Melvin Jones here with you. Tiger Baseball on Vype Live. Let's give you the starting lineups for your Tigers. Leading off, playing at third base tonight, number 11, AP, Aiden Dennis. Batting second, playing the second base, number 3, Aiden Dennis. Batting third, at short, number 22, Nico Ruedas. Batting cleanup, and at first base, number 1, Mason Ashlock. Batting fifth, and at center field, number 25, Brennan Arvison. Batting sixth, and at left field, number 10, Parker Cook. Batting seventh, the designated hitter tonight, Sam Macajanian. Sam is hitting for tonight's starting pitcher. That is Jackson Conover. Batting eighth, and behind home plate in his normal position, number 21, Matt Schindler. And in his normal ninth hole, the right fielder, the sensational sophomore himself, number 14, Theo Howard. Pitching tonight for the Antlers, number 11, Eric Tenery. He will be on the bump tonight for the Antlers. As you see the umpires, they are out. They are ready to go. Here comes the two coaches to home plate. Of course, your head coach in his 16th campaign, 316 victories, Chris Payne. Tonight, your Tigers is going to be in their road grades, drip across the chest. As the two coaches exchanging the lineups. Home plate umpire tonight giving the instructions for both head coaches. The wind tonight, it is blowing in, I say, a good gust of about 25, 30 miles per hour in this beautiful stadium here on the campus of Tivy High School. As we are getting close now to the pregame festivities. Take a moment to thank all of you for joining us tonight once again. We are on the road for the next 4 games tonight here in Tivy. Tuesday, travel to Beulah, Texas, and to Johnson to take on the Jaguars. Of course, that first game, what a beauty that was. Both pitchers, 30 strikeouts, and the 1-0 defeat against Johnson. Next Friday, we'll travel to New Braunfels to take on the Cougars of Canyon. The last time these two teams met, Brennan Arvison threw a no-hitter in a 3-1 victory. And to round up this 4-game road trip, the following Tuesday, on the 11th of April, take on Bernie Champion. Back at home on Thursday, April 14th, against Alamo Heights. As now, it is time for the pregame festivities here in Tivy.
And welcome to the Kerrville Tivy Baseball Diamond, the home of the Kerrville Tivy Antlers. game sends the Dripping Springs Tigers against our Antlers in this district baseball match. Let's first meet the players tonight. First, the starting lineup for the Tigers. To lead it off, he wears number 11, third baseman Aiden Perry. Batting second, wearing number 3, second baseman Aiden Dennis. At shortstop, it's number 22, Nico Luevi. First baseman, number 1, Mason Ashland. Wearing number 25, it's center fielder Brandon Arbison. Number 10, in left field, is Parker Cook. Batting in the 7th spot, wearing number 4, Sam Agadinian. He's a designated hitter and pitching tonight for the Tigers, wearing number 6, Jackson Conover. Number 21 is catcher Matt Schindler. And in right field, number 14, Theo Howard. Head coach of the Tigers, Chris Payne, his assistants Carlos de la Cerda and Scott Edwards. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your Kerrville Tivy Antlers. Here's the squad members first tonight. Wearing number 10, it's Landon Barnett. Number 17 is Garrett Abel. Uniform number 22 is Wiley Flores. Number 23, Jake Pankratz. And now for the starting lineup. First, leading off, playing right field, number 9, Aiden Hernandez. Batting second, number 4, the shortstop, Sam Letts. On the hill tonight doing the pitching for the Antlers, number 11, Eric Tenery. Number 19 is center fielder Cale Lackey. Wearing number 2 out in left field, Stormy Rhodes. Behind the plate doing the catching, number 15, Tanner Beck. Over at third base, it's Hayden Canese. Or rather, he's playing the DH spot. At second base will be Klein. That'll be Klein, number 6. At third base is number 8, Bailey Blaker. And at first base, number 16, Lex Lipka. Those are your Antlers. The head coach, of course, Chris Russ. His assistant, Terry Hymes, Austin Galafero, and Brig Gurley. So, ladies and gentlemen, Tivy special treat. We have a couple of Tivy sophomores to sing for you the national anthem. They are Sydney Robinson and Clara Sumner. And here they are, the national anthem. So if you would, please stand and remove your hats and caps.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched with so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof till the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Beautiful job. Tivy sophomore Sydney Robinson and Clara Sumner. And what a rendition of the national anthem sung by Sydney and Clara as we get set for tonight's baseball action.
The two Aidens, Perry and Dennis, and Nico to lead off for the Tigers here in this very windy Friday evening here at Tivy High School. Of course, on the bump once again for the Antlers, it's going to be Eric Tenery.
So we we've had our starting lineups, our national anthem, and there go the Antlers.
As the Antlers now take the field.
Wind blowing in on a perfect baseball evening.
Happy
Couldn't get
April
any better
Fool's
than
Day,
this.
folks. Happy April.
Glad to have
Spring
you
is here.
out. Antlers and Tigers.
As
District
Tenery,
baseball.
the left-hander, is getting warmed up.
Pitching
Lefty
tonight,
against lefty
will be
to
Jackson
begin this
Connell.
ball game.
And on the hill right now,
Tigers
looking
looking
up,
to complete
number
the
11,
first half
Greg Tannery.
of district play with a record of 6-2. 6 wins out of 8 games to begin district play. Not a bad job by the Tigers. They are looking to stay close with Canyon as well as Buda Johnson in the standings in District 26. AP, Aiden Dennis, Nico, the 3 that are leading off for the Tigers. As Tenery continues his warm-up. Our QA tonight for this ball game, Randy Fry. Randy's going to make sure we stay on air. Thank you so much, Randy. Of course, the broadcast director here at Vype Live, Murrow Bertrand. Our Do Everything director, that is Suna Venkat. Home plate umpire dusting off home plate. And we are ready to go here in Kerrville. Strong winds tonight. AP in a batter's box. And at 7:08 Central Daylight Time, Tenery throws the first pitch. And that's inside for ball 1.
For a ball. Batter had to jump back. At the plate right now is Aiden Perry.
As AP now
third baseman.
awaits the 1-0. And AP
Bouncing
slices
ball over
it.
the head of the pitcher.
And AP
Charges.
cannot
Fires,
make
gets
it there. And that is the first out of the inning for the Tigers.
Little bouncer.
6-3
Over
put
the
out.
head of the pitcher, out to the shortstop, let's charge it.
As
He's
Aiden
out
Dennis
of the
now
throw.
steps up to the plate for the Tigers.
Here's Aiden Dennis, the second baseman. There's number 3.
No one on, 1 out. Here in the top of the first. Tenery now ready for the first pitch against Aiden Dennis. And the lefty delivers, and AD fouls it off in the net
That pitch off.
for strike 1. 0-1 on Aiden Dennis.
Wind blowing
Nico
straight
Redis
center field.
in the on-deck circle for the Tigers.
A hard
Mason Ashlock in the hole. Tenery now as the home plate umpire grabs new balls.
Foul ball.
Tenery now readies the 0-1. And he fires it. And Aiden Dennis
Away again.
fouls it into his own dugout. 0-2 now to the second baseman tonight. Coach Payne on the third base side. Coach Reynolds on the first base side. Tenery. Here's the 0-2. And Aiden Dennis pops it up in the shallow right field. And it is caught out there in right field by Hernandez for the second out
Hernandez
of
grabbed it.
this first inning. And here comes Nico.
2 up, 2 down.
Nico's bat has been on fire
Stepping up now.
the past 2 weeks.
The shortstop, number 20.
He's looking to get on now.
Nico Ruedes.
With no one on, 2 outs in the top of the first. Tenery now fires the first pitch, and Nico slices it foul off of the net for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 now coming for Tenery as Nico waits. Tenery fires, And that pitch catches the outside corner. Nico didn't like it. 0-2 now to Redis. You can tell Nico was frustrated with that one.
Ahead 0-2.
No balls and 2 strikes now to Nico Redis. Here's Tenery. Back on the rubber. Shakes off the first 2 pitches. He likes this one. Here's the 0-2. And that's high for ball 1. 1-2 now to Nico. Mason Ashlock in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. 2 outs here in the top of the first. We are scoreless. And Nico is ready. Here's the 1-2. That is high as well. And now Nico has all deuces.
A little bit high.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for number 22. Tenery now. Here's the 2-2. Nico fouls it out of play. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tigers won't see the jungle for 2 weeks. They are on the road a lot. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Nico. And 2 outs. Tenery fires. And that is inside. Full count now on Nico.
A little bit low. Full count, 3-2.
Mace in the on-deck circle, opening it on. Here comes the 3-2 to Nico. And Verretta slices it in the left center field for a base hit. And Nico continues that hot streak. Nico has been on fire. And with 2 outs, here comes Mason Ashlock.
Added to the plate now, the first baseman, number 1, Mason Ashlock.
Nico taking the lead off first. As Brandon Arvidsson grabbing the foul ball, giving it back to the umps.
1 man on, 2 down.
Nico on first, 2 outs.
Steps in.
And Mace ready for the first pitch for the at-bat. Nico with a nice lead off of first. Tenery looks over there. Here's the first pitch to Mace. And that pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1. 0-1 on Ashlock. Brandon Arvidsson in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. Nico, once again, taking a large lead off of first. Tenery looks back at first. That was a long look at first. He does it again, and he's going to throw it over to first. And Nico is back there safely. One on, 2 outs here in the top of the first. Scoreless ball game. Nico once again taking a nice lead off of first. Tenery likes the pitch. He's looking over at first, and he fires. And Mace fouls it to the backstop.
0-2.
And the count goes no balls, 2 strikes to Mason Ashlock.
Tiger at first, 2 down.
Strong winds blowing in
0-2 is the count.
here at Antler Stadium. 320 to both poles, 385 dead center. Tenery now, red is the 0-2, and that is high for a ball. Ball and 2 strikes now to Mason Ashlock. Nico once again, the lead off of first. Here comes the 1-2 to Mason Ashlock as Tenery tosses it back to first. Nico safe by a mile. Tenery now readies. He fires. And that is outside. That was close. As Ashlock now has deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Let's see how consistent the ump is going to be with that location tonight. Few pitches before he called that a strike. Tenery now looks back over to first twice. Does it a 3rd time. He's going to fire it back to first. And Nico slides in with no issues. Scoreless here in the top of the first. But the Tigers do have a runner at first base, and that is Nico Redis. Here comes the 2-2. Mace looks like he's ready. Tenery fires, and he got Mace looking, and that is his first strikeout of the ball game. Third strike of the first inning. Tigers leave one on, and now the Antlers come up. Jackson Conover and the Tiger defense comes out for the bottom of the first. You're watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Who has been outstanding, either playing in the infield or pitching, is getting ready for his second start on the bump in district play. As we welcome you back to Tivy High School. Tigers and Antlers scoreless here in the bottom of the first. Antlers will go with Hernandez, Lutz, and Tenery to begin this ball game.
For the Antlers, here in the first, it will be Hernandez, Lutz, and Tenery in that order. Followed by Lackey, if anybody.
As Jackson now
and here to lead it off,
dusting off the rubber.
Tivy right fielder.
Here's Aiden Hernandez. Take on Jackson Conover for the first time tonight. Jackson, first pitch, and he catches the outside corner for strike one. And it's 0-1 now on the right fielder. Sam Lutz is in the on-deck circle for the Antlers. As Jackson now readies the 0-1. And that is high and inside. Evens the count at a ball and a strike.
1-1 the count.
As Jackson now fires the 1-1. And that is high. 2 balls and a strike now to Aiden Hernandez. We are scoreless here in the bottom of the first. Tigers and the Antlers. Jackson fires the 2-1. That's well outside. 3 balls and a strike now on Hernandez.
1 strike to the Antler right fielder. Hernandez had a put out in the first.
You can hear the wind blowing through the mic. As Hernandez that time fouls it off the back net. And the count goes full.
3-2.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Jackson now looks like he's ready to go. Here it comes, the 3-2 to Hernandez. And Jackson Conover got him. First strikeout tonight for Jackson. First out of the inning for the Antlers. And here comes Sam Lutz.
Called pitch, called strike on 3-2. There's 1 down. Stepping into the batter's box now.
Pretty good pitching sequence there for Jackson Conover. As Letts now comes up to face Jackson. And Jackson gets a first pitch strike. 0-1 now on the shortstop. The opposing pitcher, Eric Tenery, in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. Conover fires the 0-1. And that time it is popped up, and it's going to be in trouble. And it's going to drop fair for a base hit. As Theo grabs it. And Letts barely gets back to first. Bloop single for Sam Letts. For the first hit tonight for Tivy.
1 on and 1 out.
And here comes Eric Tenery, the opposing pitcher tonight.
Left singles.
With 1 on and 1 out. Here in the bottom of the first.
Coming in right now. Number 11. Kerrville pitcher, Eric Tenery.
Tenery walks up to hypnotize. See if Jackson can hypnotize him as Tenery bounces it. And it goes foul. 0-1 now to Tenery. Let's see if the wind's going to present a lot of problems for both teams tonight. The sun is scheduled to set in about half an hour or so. Has some shadows right now on the pitcher's mound. As Jackson readies the 0-1. That pitch is well outside, evens the count up, the ball and the strike.
Count evens 1-1.
Tigers only a game out of first place. As Jackson fires to 1-1. And it's a call, second strike. A ball and 2 strikes now to Eric Tenery. Canyon defeated Buda Johnson on Tuesday night. Those two teams are tied up at the top of the standings. Tigers right behind them. Here comes the 1-2 from Jackson. And it goes low and away. Evens the count up, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Ball into the dirt. Schindler, a good stop.
Of course,
2-2.
Tigers runner-up in District 26 last season to Canyon. As Jackson throws it and it goes foul, and the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Canyon won the district last season, was eliminated in the area playoffs to Rouse. Tigers made it to the regional finals and was eliminated by the same Rouse team. Tigers hoping to get back that deep. And that is inside, called third strike. And Jackson Conover has his second put out, second out of this first inning. Here comes Kale Lackey to take on Jackson for the first time with 1 on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
Kale Lackey, the center fielder.
As Jackson tosses it back to first and slides back in safely. 1 on, 2 away here in the bottom of the first. And that pitch is well inside by Jackson. 1-0 to Lackey.
Ball 1 to Lackey.
Lackey gets on. Stormy Rhodes is in the on-deck circle for the Antlers. Here's the 1-0. And it's popped up, and it's popped up high. Aiden Dennis running after it. Mason Ashlock is also over there. A near collision, but Mace grabs it, and that will retire the side. 2 strikeouts for Jackson Conover, and that will be the end of the first inning. Antlers leave on the end of 1. We are scoreless, and you are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
All of us love sports, but not all sports are created equal. College sports have big budgets, dedicated alumni networks, and corporate sponsorships. Professional sports have even deeper pockets, millionaire owners, lucrative TV and radio deals, and merchandise sales. High school sports have you. Everyone agrees high school sports give us plenty of reasons to cheer. And now's a great time for us to give back. Supporting your hometown high school won't cost you much, but it will go a long way to ensuring the games we love the most are here to stay. Texas high school sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Brandon Arvison, Parker Cook, Sam Agajanian, all coming up for the Tigers here in the top of the second. We are scoreless. Pretty good first inning by both clubs. And here comes Big B.
Here we go into the top of the second. And leading off will be Brandon Arvison.
Brandon tonight in the 5-hole. 2 home runs. He got those last Saturday.
He goes after the first pitch and fouls it back.
And he fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. Big B had 2 monstrous home runs against Lehman last week. The second one with a beautiful bat flip because he knew it was gone. As Tenery fires the 0-1. And that pitch is low and inside. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike. Parker Cook is in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. Both teams with a hit in the first inning. Tenery taking a while for this pitch. And now he's ready, and he fires it. As Brandon Arvison slices it into center field for a base hit. Brandon Arvison continuing his hot hitting streak. And the Tigers get the leadoff hitter on board. Here comes Parker Cook now.
And that'll bring to the plate the left fielder, number
Parker Cook has been cooking, literally.
Parker Cook.
Hitting the ball fantastically since last week. Filling in for Taylor Tracy, and he has done a phenomenal job. Of course, Taylor right now out with an injury. Hope to have him back real soon. As Tenery throws it over back to first base, of course. Big B, 6'4" frame and all, gets back no problem.
Cook steps back in.
As now Parker awaits the first pitch of the at-bat. He shows bunt. He bunts it, pops up in foul territory.
Nice try. Good run
as
by
Blaker
there.
Couldn't get to it.
Just out of his reach.
0-1 now to Parker.
Good hustling there by the handlers.
Coach Payne now giving out the instructions to Parker, as well as Brandon Arvison. 0-1 to Parker Cook. No outs here in the top of the second. As Tenery throws it right back to first, and Arvison makes it there safely. After tonight, 8 more games in district play before we go into the playoffs. Tigers hoping to get back there as Parker lays down a gorgeous bunt, and Tenery throws it over the first for the first out. Outstanding sacrifice there for Parker. 1 away here in the top of the second, but 1 on as Brandon Arvison now advances to second base. And here comes Sammy Sam.
Play going 1-3, pitcher to first base.
Sam now, we know he can rake and rake it long. Short bench. As it is 3:20 in the left field. And Sam looks at strike 1. Delayed call by the umpire, and it's 0-1 on Sam. Sam, of course, DHing tonight.
1 out, a man aboard at second.
Steps back into the box. Brandon Arvison at second base. 1 away, scoreless here in the top of the second. Tenery. And Sam calls time.
0-1 is the count.
And Sam now back in the box. Here comes the 0-1 as Tenery's looking deep at second. And he fires the 0-1. And that pitch goes outside, evens the count up at a ball and a strike. Sam has a lot of room in both left and right field in the corners. If he could get the ball over there, Brandon Arvison would surely score. Big swing and miss by Sam. Ball and 2 strikes now to Sam Macajanian. Matt Schindler is in the on-deck circle for the Tigers.
1-2 the count.
1 on, 1 out here in the top of the second. We are scoreless. Tenery shakes off the first pitch. He gives the nod, saying that he's ready. He fires it. And Sam foul tips it to the backstop. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. One on, 1 out, and a 1-2 count to Sam Magajanian. Tenery looks back at second, and he fires the 1-2. Sam hits it over to third, and the third baseman is having trouble, but he gets it and puts Sammy away for the second out of this inning. As Blaker fumbled it, but he was able to get Sam out, and it's 2 away here in the top of the second for Matt Schindler.
Big out to get. Here's Matt Schindler.
Matty iced with Brandon Arverson at second. Let's see if he can bring Big B home. Tenery checks back at second, and he fires. And Matty Ice pops it foul, and out of play 0-1 to the catcher. The 9-hole, and Theo Howard in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. We are scoreless. Tigers have a runner at second. 2 outs here in the top of the second. As Schindler now back in the box. Tenery is ready to fire the 0-1, and he fires it. And that is high for ball 1. Count is even out on the ball to the strike.
Moves to a ball and
to Matt Schindler.
2 gone. Runner at second base. We're at the top of the second.
Tenery fighting some shadows. And he fires the 1-1. And Matty Ice swings and misses for strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes now to Matt Schindler. A ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Runner on second. Here in the top of the second.
Time called.
And a timeout by Brandon Arverson. Excuse me, by Matt Schindler. Here is the 1-2 to Matty Ice. And that pitch is outside, and it evens up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Just off the plate to even the count. Goes to 2-2. 2 outs, 2 on. Or rather, 1 on at second base.
As Tenery now looks back at second. He fires the 2-2. Matty Ice swings and misses for a strike. Second strikeout for Eric Tenery. And that is the third out of the second inning. Tigers lead Brandon Arverson at second, and they go down. Bottom of the second coming up for the Antlers. And you are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
There are no words to describe it. The isolation, the boredom, the loneliness. If you're wondering where your teenage son or daughter's spirit went, you're hardly alone. The past year has been devastating, especially for them. But here's the good news. They might just find it again, playing high school sports. Workouts that stimulate, teammates and coaches that care, the sense of belonging so many of us have been missing lately. That's what school sports are all about. The sense of achievement is real, and the camaraderie is hard to beat. Coping with uncertainty is difficult, but school sports can help the teenagers in your family start feeling like themselves again. Encourage them to give it a try. High school sports, it's so much more than a game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Rhodes, Beck, Canese coming up for the Antlers as we welcome you back to Tivy High School, home of the Antlers. Tiger baseball on Vype Live. Melvin Jones back here with you. Jackson Conover, 2 strikeouts in the bottom of the first. He did give up 1 hit. As Stormy Rhodes is the first batter here in the second inning for the Antlers.
This ball game heads into the second inning, bottom of the second. Leading off for the Kerrville Tivy Antlers, number 2 left fielder Stormy.
And Jackson fires the first pitch, and that is low and into the dirt for ball 1. 1-0 now to Rhodes. Conover now fires the 1-0. That pitch is outside. 2 balls, no strikes to Stormy Rhodes. Tanner Beck is in the on-deck circle for the Antlers. Conover fires the 2-0. And Rhodes slices it in the left field for a base hit. So the Antlers now gets the lead-off runner on. And with no outs and a runner on first, here comes Tanner Beck. Second hit of the night for Tivy.
Coming up now for the Antlers, the catcher, number 15, Tanner Beck.
As now Conover back on the rubber. Rhodes leading off of first. Beck shows bunt, and it goes foul. And a fantastic catch by Matt Schindler. Matty Ice makes the first out of this inning. What a catch by Matt Schindler in foul territory.
Standing play, a diving catch in foul ground.
First out of this inning. What a play by Matt Schindler.
I'll bring up number 5, designated hitter, Hayden Canese.
As Canese now steps up to face Jackson Conover. Rhodes takes off. Matt throws it, and Rhodes makes it into second. Stolen base for Stormy Rhodes.
Goes head first into second base. Safe with a steal.
0-1 to Canese. Stormy Rhodes, long and lengthy as well. And he has wheels. Conover fires the 0-1. Swing and miss those, Canese. No balls, 2 strikes to the designated hitter.
Hayden in the hole, 0-2.
Bailey Blaker in the on-deck circle for the Antlers. Here comes the 0-2 from Jackson Conover. Jackson fires, and Canese swings and misses, and that's strikeout number 3 for Jackson.
2 down.
2 away. Here comes Blaker.
Stepping out now for the Antlers, number 8, the third baseman, Bailey Blaker.
Bailey Blaker with a runner on second. 2 outs. Jackson Conover fires the first pitch, and Blaker slices it. Nico with a nice catch, and he throws it over to first for the putout. And the Antlers leave one on. Great play by Nico Rietas. Fantastic play by Matt Schindler to get out of this first inning. The Antlers leave one on. And we head to the top of the third, and we are still scoreless. You are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
It's been a trying year for parents. They've been confronted with countless challenges and have always risen to the occasion. If it isn't too much to ask, the 826,000 high school student athletes in Texas have one last request.
Please, set an example.
Disorderly fan conduct at high school athletic events is on the rise. It increasingly involves parents. There's no question that parents are passionate. There's no question they care about their children. But at a time when we're all wound a little more tightly than usual, it's worth remembering this about Texas high school sports. Always be a good example. Stop unruly fan behavior before it starts.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Aiden Dennis. All coming up for the Tigers. Top of the third. We are still scoreless. Matt Schindler, one of the players of the year for the Tigers. As Eric Tenery fires the first pitch, Theo shows bunt. That pitch is outside for ball one. 1-0 now to Theo Howard. Theo now back in the box. Tenery. Here's the 1-0. And that pitch is well high. 2 balls, no strikes to Theo Howard. AP is in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. Both teams with 2 hits through 2 innings. Tenery fires right down the middle for a strike. 2 balls and a strike now to Theo Howard. Here comes the 2-1 from Tenery. And Theo slices it foul near the Tigers dugout.
And the count evens at 2-2.
Even count for Theo Howard. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tenery shakes off the first pitch. Here's the 2-2. And Theo slices it, this time the opposite direction, into the Antler dugout. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nice packed stadium here at Tivy on this beautiful Friday night. April Fool's Day. It is not an April Fool's, but this game here tonight. Tenery gets Theo swinging and missing, and Theo goes down on strikes. 3rd strikeout tonight for Eric Tenery. 1 away here in the top of the 3rd. Here it comes. AP. Aiden Perry 0 for 1 tonight. Grounding out in the 1st inning. As Tenery likes this pitch, he fires the first pitch to AP. That pitch is outside for ball 1. 1-0 to Aiden Perry. Aiden Dennis in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. Tenery fires the 1-0. And that pitch is inside. 2 balls, no strikes
From ball 2.
to AP.
2-0 to Perry. The Tigers' 3rd baseman.
AP now steps back in the box. Here's Tenery with a 2-0. As AP
The bat handle.
fouls it
2-1.
to the 3rd base side. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Wind, of course, continuing to blow in. And that pitch is outside. 3 balls, 1 strike to Aiden Perry. Here's a 3-1. And AP slices it. Is it going to bloop? It is not, as Sam Letts catches it for the 2nd out of this inning.
2 up, 2 down.
And here is AD, Aiden Dennis. AD tonight, 0 for 1. Fly it out to right field, back in the 1st. AD now going to have a chat with Coach Payne before he takes his at-bat.
Conferences break up, and we're ready to go again. Henry on the hill, back behind home plate.
As AD now
Dennis.
in the box.
Aiden Dennis.
Tenery is ready for the first pitch of this at-bat. He fires it. And Aiden Dennis slices one. Base hit past 3rd base. Aiden Dennis wants extra bases, and he's going to get it. Stand-up double for AD.
As a 2-bagger.
And with 2 away, here comes Nico.
Just out of the reach of Blanker.
Nico with a runner
Runner in scoring position.
in 2nd. Nico's 1 for 1 tonight. Had a single back in the 1st. third hit of the night for the Tigers.
So that brings up Nico Ruedes.
And here comes Nico now.
Singled his first time up.
Tenery looks back at second. He fires the first pitch to Nico. That's right down the middle for strike one. 0-1 on Nico. Nico gets on. Mason Ashlock is in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. Nico quickly back in the batter's box. Tenery now is taking his time. Checks back at second. And he fires the 0-1. Right down the... Actually, he catches the outside corner. Nico didn't like that one. It was the same pitch back in the first inning. And Nico gave the same scowl to the home plate umpire. 0-2 now to Nico. Aiden Dennis at second base. 2 outs. 0-2 to Nico Ruedes. Tenery fires. And that is high for ball one.
Little high.
A ball and 2 strikes to Nico.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
A ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Aiden Dennis at second base. Eric Tenery fires the 1-2. Nico swings and misses, and Nico is retired. And that is the 4th strikeout for Tenery. So the Tigers leave a runner on for the 3rd consecutive inning. And after 2.5, we remain scoreless here at Tivy High School. You're watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
Are you worried how 2020 has impacted your teen's social development? We are too. Want to know what might help? Participating in the performing arts in high school. It's been hard being a teenager recently. Hard to cope, hard to keep up, hard not to feel like you're missing out. Everything's different and nobody knows what's next. Encouraging your son or daughter to participate in performing arts can really help. Those are high school activities like band, orchestra, choir, theater, speech, and debate. They'll make new friends, develop confidence, and feel the satisfaction of being part of a team. Participation in the performing arts aren't a cure-all, and they certainly won't make the pandemic go away, but they will make the teenagers in your family feel like they're part of something special. This message presented by the NFHS and the Texas University Interscholastic League.
Lipka, Hernandez, and Letts coming up for the Antlers. These 2 teams are mirroring each other. We are scoreless here in the bottom of the 3rd. Melvin Jones back here with you. Tiger Baseball on Vype Live. As Lex Lipka comes up for the Antlers. Both teams have left runners on in each of their innings. As Jackson ready for the first pitch of this 3rd inning, and Lipka pops it up. And Parker Cook is underneath it, and he grabs it for the first out of this 3rd inning. 1 away. Here comes the top of the order, and Aiden Hernandez. Hernandez struck out back in the 1st.
Top of the order.
So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Here's Jackson now. Fires to Hernandez, and that is high for ball 1. 1-0 to Aiden Hernandez. Sam Letts in the on-deck circle for Tivy. And Jackson gets a call, first strike. 1-1 now on Aiden Hernandez.
Count evens up. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Hernandez fouls it over the net this time into the stands. Ball and 2 strikes now to the right fielder. Here's Jackson now with the 1-2. That's high. And it evens up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
To run the count to 2-2. One out, nobody on.
Jackson is ready for the 2-2. And he fires it. That is inside and got him. Got him looking. And that is the 4th strikeout for Jackson Conover. 2nd out of this 3rd inning. And here is Sam Letts.
Here's the shortstop.
Letts 1 for 1 tonight. Single back in the 1st. Nice pitch there from Jackson Conover. And here's the first pitch of the at-bat for Letts. And Letts fouls it off of the net for strike 1. 0-1 to Letts. And now Jackson readies the 0-1. And Letts slices it in the left field for a base hit. And so the Antlers get a runner on for the 3rd consecutive inning. And with 1 on and 2 outs, here is the opposing pitcher, Eric Tenery. Tenery tonight 0 for 1, striking out looking back in the 1st.
Up there now, the Antler pitcher, Eric Tenery.
As now Jackson is ready for the first pitch of the bat, and Letts takes off. And it's going to be a foul called for strike 1. That was a weird thing. Looks like it hit the barrel of the bat. 0-1 coming up for Tenery. Oh, now they're going to call it a hit batsman. Wow. Coach Payne is going to come out and argue that one. It was called foul at first, and then suddenly the ump changed his call.
He hobbles down to first base.
Now the ump is going to explain to Coach Payne his ruling.
So it's 2 aboard.
As I don't know if Coach Payne is going to win this argument. And the umps now are going to have a conversation. Couldn't tell if it hit the barrel of the bat. And that was the initial call, but now the umps are going to conference. And see what the call is going to be. And it's going to be hit batsman. So now for the first time tonight, Tivy has 2 on. 2 away. Here in the bottom of the 3rd. Kale Lackey now comes up to the plate for the Antlers.
First time either team has had 2 men aboard. And that's the situation.
Lackey popped up to Mason Ashlock in foul territory back in the 1st. 2 on, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. We are still scoreless. As Jackson fires, that pitch is outside for ball 1. 1-0 to the center fielder. As Jackson fires the 1-0. And he catches the inside corner that time for strike 1. Even count at a ball and a strike. As Lackey now steps back in the box. Conover is ready for the 1-1 and he fires. That pitch, great stop by Matt Schindler. And Matt Schindler is gunning folks down as he got Sam Letts. And that will be the end of this 3rd inning. Matt Schindler has been making play after play tonight. And he ends the inning for the Antlers. Antlers leave 1 on. It is still scoreless with each team with 3 hits. You are watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live. defensively, this has been the Matt Schindler Show. Matty Ice just making defensive play after the defensive play. We are still scoreless here. Top of the fourth. Mason Ashlock, Brandon Arvison, Parker Cook, all coming up for the Tigers. Melvin Jones back here with your Tiger Baseball on Vype Live. Both pitchers has been pitching phenomenal tonight. As Mason Ashlock up to the dish for the second time tonight. And he's going to lead off this fourth inning. Mace tonight 0 for 1, striking out. Back in the first. As Tenery looks like he's ready to go.
Here we go.
Mace is ready to go.
Mason Ashlock.
And here is the first pitch of the fourth inning. And Mace looks at strike one.
Called strike.
0-1 to Ashlock. Brandon Arvison is in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. And Tenery fires the 0-1. That's well outside. Evens up the count at a ball and a strike. Tenery now. Here's the 1-1 to Mace. And Mace moves, but a nice pitch inside. A ball and 2 strikes to Mason Ashlock. Tenery looks like he's ready to go. And here's the 1-2. And Mace fouls it off of the net. Nice barehanded catch by Big B in foul territory. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Tenery with the 1-2. And Mace gets taken out looking. Strikeout number 5 for Eric Tenery. First put out of this fourth inning. And here it comes. Big B. Brandon tonight, 1 for 1. He had a single back in the second inning. Facing Eric Tenery for the second time tonight. As Tenery, the first pitch of the at-bat. And that is outside for ball 1. 1-0 to Brandon Arvison. Parker Cook is in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. No score here in the top of the fourth. Tenery now fires. And that is inside 2-0 on Brandon Arvison. Both pitchers pitching well. And that could be an understatement. Tenery with the 2-0. Brandon Arvison swings and misses for strike 1. 2-1 now on Big B. Big B took a practice swing. He's back in the box. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's Tenery. Fires the 2-1. And Arvison swings and misses. Strike 2. Evens up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
2-2 the count.
1 away here in the top of the fourth. And Tenery fires. Brandon Arvison pops it. It's going to go foul and out of play. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Parker Cook would love to get on with Brandon Arvison on base. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Big B. He's back in the box. And here's the 2-2 coming up from Tenery. Tenery is taking his time on this one. And he fires it. Brandon Arvison pops it. It's high in foul territory. Is going to go out of play. And the count remains 2-2.
From the center, blowing across the field, sometimes to right.
Beautiful Gorgeous
The right side.
sunset. It is pink. You cannot get any more perfect than the sunset we have tonight. Pink clouds overlooking the hill country here in Kerrville. As Beck is back behind home plate. Brandon Arvison back in the batter's box. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tenery fires a 2-2. Brandon Arvison slices it. It's going to be a routine play by Hernandez for the second out of this inning. Excuse me, that was Sam Letts there with the putout. 2 away. Here comes Parker Cook.
That ball hit sharply to short.
Parker tonight 0 for 1. Sacrificed himself for Brandon Arvison back in the second inning. He has no one on. 2 outs now here in this 4th inning. Tenery now. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat to Parker. Parker swings and misses for strike 1.
Swings through it for a strike. 0-1.
0-1 to the left fielder tonight.
Beautiful night here in Kerrville.
Parker gets on. Sam McAjanian is in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. Tenery fires. Parker tips it. Foul. 0-2 now to Parker Cook.
And it's 0-2. We're in the 4th inning of a scoreless ball game.
No one on. 2 outs. 0-2 to Parker Cook. It is still scoreless. Tenery is looking to put the Tigers down in order for the first time tonight. Here's the 0-2. And that is inside for a ball. 1-2 now to Parker Cook. Neither team has gone down in order tonight. Tenery has a chance to make it the first time. And here is the 1-2 to Parker. Parker Cook fouls it. Looks like it may have gone off of his foot. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes as Parker walks it off. Wind is still blowing, but not as hard as it was to begin this ball game. Calmed down a lot. Here comes the 1-2 now from Tenery to Parker Cook. As Tenery fires. That's high.
The delivery stays high.
Deuces wild for Parker Cook. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs.
2 strikes.
As Parker now shakes it off. Gets back in the box. He is ready. Here's a 2-2 from Tenery. Parker pops it. It's high. It's going to be a tough play out in right field for Hernandez, and he couldn't make it.
Can't get it. Just short of the wall.
And he goes foul.
Hernandez in right field.
Parker Cook is still alive with this at-bat. Very good at-bat for number 10.
So Cook will come back to the plate with a 2-2 count on him.
I mentioned how the wind was calming down, and then you hear a big gust just come through. Tenery now shakes off the first 3 pitches. He likes this one. Here's a 2-2 to Parker. Parker swings and misses, and for the first time tonight, the Tigers go down in order.
1, 2, 3 inning for
6 strikeouts now for Eric Tenery. We are halfway through this ball game, and we are still scoreless. You're watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school, plus all those memories that are on the line too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Here in the bottom of the fourth, Kale Lackey, Stormy Rhodes, Tanner Beck. We're back here. Tivy High School, we are scoreless. Tigers baseball on Vype Live. Melvin Jones back here with you on a Friday night. First Friday here in April. As Jackson Conover delivers the first pitch. And that is high. That is deep. And underneath it is Parker Cook. And he grabs it for the first out of this fourth inning. The wind grabbed that one. That wasn't going too far. One away here in the fourth. Here is Stormy Rhodes. Rhodes tonight 1 for 1. Single back in the second.
Heading for the plate now. Number 2, left fielder.
As Jackson Conover
Stormy Rhodes.
still out there dealing for the Tigers. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. And Jackson gets a first pitch strike. 0-1 now to Rhodes. Jackson shakes off the first pitch. Here's the 0-1. Swing and misses goes Rhodes. 0-2 now.
No balls, 2 strikes. Ball game in the fourth.
That's Jackson looking for strikeout number 5. He delivers the 0-2, and he got strikeout number 5. Getting Rhodes to swing and miss. Second put out of this inning.
The 2 out. That brings to the plate the catcher, number 15, Tanner Beck.
Jackson Conover has thrown a total of 4 pitches here in this fourth inning. As Tanner Beck comes up for the second time against Jackson. Beck, he swings, and Nico couldn't get underneath it. Base hit for Tanner Beck.
Beck jumps on the first pitch and grounds a single to left field. The Amber's have a base runner.
And Tivy continues as they get the lead hitter on. Excuse me, they get a hitter on again for the 4th consecutive inning. And with 2 gone, and we're going to have a courtesy runner.
Running at first base now, Wiley Flores.
As Wiley Flores
Pinch runner at first base.
is now the courtesy runner at first.
Coming to the plate for the Antlers will be the designated hitter, number 5, Eddie Canesi.
As Canesi now steps back up against Jackson Conover. Canesi tonight 0 for 1, striking out back in the second against Conover. Flores is now at first. Jackson fires, and Canesi swings and misses for strike 1. 0-1 to the designated hitter.
Antlers with a runner at first.
Conover now readies the 0-1, and he fires it. Canesi hits it over to Mason Ashlock, and Mace is going to put him away, and that will be the 4th inning. So the Antlers get a hit, but that is all. And we go to the 5th inning, still scoreless here in Kerrville. You're watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
All of us love sports, but not all sports are created equal. College sports have big budgets, dedicated alumni networks, and corporate sponsorships. Professional sports have even deeper pockets, millionaire owners, lucrative TV and radio deals, and merchandise sales. High school sports have you. Everyone agrees high school sports give us plenty of reasons to cheer. And now's a great time for us to give back. Supporting your hometown high school won't cost you much, but it will go a long way to ensuring the games we love the most are here to stay. Texas high school sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Sam McAdania, Matt Schindler, Theo Howard, all coming up here in the top of the fifth as we welcome you back to Kerrville, Texas. Tigers and the Antlers, scoreless here in the fifth inning. And here is Sammy Sam. Sam tonight 0 for 1, grounding out back in the second. Eric Tenery still on the bump for the Antlers. As here's the first pitch to Sam, and that is low and away for ball one. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Tigers. No runs, 4 hits for Tivy. And Sam gets ball 2-0 to Sam McAdania. As Tenery fires. And that is low and inside. 3 balls, no strikes to Sam McAdania. And Tenery fires. And Sam gets a 4-pitch walk to begin this fifth inning. So the Tigers get the lead hitter on. And here comes Matty Ice. Schindler tonight 0 for 1, striking out back in the second. Henry now looks over at first as Matt is showing bunt, and Sam just jogs right back to first. The infield started to come in as they see Schindler showing bunt. Blaker is well in the infield. He's ready. And Matty Ice looks at strike one, showing the bunt. 0-1 on Schindler. Here comes the 0-1 to Schindler, and Schindler bounces it. Blaker's having trouble. Schindler makes it.
That's away. Everybody's safe.
And Sam McAdania advances to third. The Tigers have runners at the corners. No outs here in the top of the fifth. Let's see how it's going to be scored. And they called an out. Coach Payne is not liking that one. And apparently they're saying Matt Schindler ran out of the baseline.
Runner went out of the baseline is the rule.
Coach Payne is not happy with that one.
Shakes out here.
That one didn't look right. Let's see what this resolution is. Because it didn't look as though Schindler ran out of the baseline. But that was the call. Very long argument.
For the final call here on that play.
I don't know if Coach Payne is going to win this one, but it didn't look from here as though Schindler ran out of the baseline. And the runner is out.
Called for running out of the baseline.
There are some upset fans as well. So who was out? Because Sam McJanian should be able to advance to third. Sam McJanian should be on third, as now the umps are conferencing it. This is a weird scenario right now.
Question is if the ball was dead on the call at first base.
Sam had already rounded second, so Akajanian should be at third.
If it was, the runner would go back to first. If that's not the call, they'll be further along.
And Coach Payne is arguing that Sam had already made it to second and was rounding second when the call was made. So is Sam going to stay on first? It's going to be one out. Horrible call. A lot of people are not happy with that one. So
the situation is the runner at first has to stay there.
So Sam is back at first base.
Runner's interference. So we've got one out and one on.
So one out and one on as Theo Howard
will be number 14,
steps up.
Theo Howard.
Theo tonight 0 for 1, striking out, back in the third. He has a runner on first. That's Sam McAjanian. And one away as Tenery throws low to first, and Sam is safe. Tenery now. He fires. And that's outside, and Sam, it's a moot point now because Sam is over at second now. Off of the wild pitch by Tenery. So now Akajanian at second base. One away.
So the potential lead run
and a 1-0 count on Theo Howard.
The pitch was a ball. 1-0 to Howard.
Here comes the 1-0 from Eric Tenery as he looks back at second base and he fires. As Theo shows bunt and Theo gets a strike called and the count goes even. A ball and a strike.
1 ball, 1 strike.
A lot of ones on the board right now. None in the score column.
At second base.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out for Theo Howard. Scoreless ball game here in the top of the 5th. Both pitchers pitching outstanding. Tenery fires, and Theo that time fouls it out of play. A ball and 2 strikes now to the right fielder. The top of the order, and Aiden Perry is in the on-deck circle for the Tigers.
Howard plays right field. Left-handed batter.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out in the scoreless game. Tenery checks back at second, and he fires some 1-2, and Theo swings and misses, and that's strikeout number 7 for Eric Tenery. Second out of this inning, and here comes Aiden Perry.
2 gone now. That was
AP tonight,
strikeout of the night.
0 for 2.
Top of the order.
He has a runner at second. That is Sam McAjanian. We are still scoreless. As Tenery looks like he's ready. He fires, and AP looks at strike 1.
Ball in there for a called strike 1.
0-1 now on AP. Perry gets on. Aiden Dennis is in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. Here's the 0-1 now coming to AP. And that is just low for ball one. 1-1 now to Aiden Perry. Tennery. And now he's ready. Here's the 1-1 to AP. And that is into the dirt. 2-1 now to Aiden Perry.
Tanner Beck knocking that ball down, keeping it in front of him.
Great play out there by Beck.
Big play there, keeps the runner at second.
2 balls and 1 strike to Aiden Perry.
2 gone, 2-1 the count.
Tethering now. Taking his time. Looks over at second. He fires the 2-1. Aiden Perry, is he going to get one? He does not. It is caught out there by Klein. And that will be the end of the 5th inning. It's time to stretch. And it is a weird time as Coach Payne running back to the dugout, still arguing with the home plate umpire. Tigers lead 1. We are still scoreless going to the bottom of the 5th. You're watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
There are no words to describe it. The isolation, the boredom, the loneliness. If you're wondering where your teenage son or daughter's spirit went, you're hardly alone. The past year has been devastating, especially for them. But here's the good news. They might just find it again, playing high school sports. Workouts that stimulate, teammates and coaches that care, the sense of belonging so many of us have been missing lately. That's what school sports are all about. The sense of achievement is real, and the camaraderie is hard to beat. Coping with uncertainty is difficult, but school sports can help the teenagers in your family start feeling like themselves again. Encourage them to give it a try. High school sports, it's so much more than a game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Bottom of the 5th.
Bailey Blaker to lead it off.
And we have Bailey Blaker to lead it off for the Antlers as Jackson throws ball 1 to begin this bottom of the 5th. Blaker, Lipka, and the top of the order of Hernandez are coming up for the Antlers. And Blaker hits it, and AP grounds it and gets it over to Mason Ashlock for the first out of this 5th inning. So 1 away, and here is Lex Lipka. Lipka 0 for 1 tonight, flying out to left field, back in the 3rd. 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th. As Jackson Conover fires. That pitch is high for ball 1. 1-0 now to Lipka. As Conover readies in 1-0 and he fires it. And that is outside 2-0 now on Lex Lipka.
Good eye by Lipka.
Aiden Hernandez in the on-deck circle for the Antlers. Jackson gets the outside strike call. 2-1 now on Lipka. As Conover fires a 2-1. And he gets the same call, same location. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Lex Lipka.
And the count runs to 2-2.
As Conover fires. Lipka swings and misses, and that's strikeout number 6 for Jackson Conover. And out number 2 here in this 5th inning.
And here's the top of the Antler order. Coming in now. Right
top of the order, and Aiden Hernandez. Hernandez 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts tonight. Third time against Jackson Conover. Jackson. And close call. Ball 1 on Hernandez. 1-0. 6K so far for Jackson Conover. And he deals the 1-0. And that is inside. 2 balls, no strikes to Aiden Hernandez.
For that pitch. 2-0.
Quick ball game as we are already in the bottom of the 5th. As Conover deals, swings and misses, does Hernandez, and it's strike 1. 2-1 now on the right fielder. Hernandez gets on. Sam Letts will be in the on-deck circle for the Antlers. Conover fires the 2-1. And it is fouled to the back net. Deuces are wild for Aiden Hernandez. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Quick update on softball. Our softball team leads Bernie Champion 3-2 in the top of the 7th. Thanks to Randy for getting that. And that is strikeout number 7. And finally, the Tigers get the Antlers to go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on here in the 5th inning. We have played 5. We are still scoreless. You're watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
There are no words to describe it. The isolation, the boredom, the loneliness. If you're wondering where your teenage son or daughter's spirit went, you're hardly alone. The past year has been devastating, especially for them. But here's the good news. They might just find it again, playing high school sports. Workouts that stimulate, teammates and coaches that care, the sense of belonging so many of us have been missing lately. That's what school sports are all about. The sense of achievement is real, and the camaraderie is hard to beat. Coping with uncertainty is difficult, but school sports can help the teenagers in your family start feeling like themselves again. Encourage them to give it a try. High school sports, it's so much more than a game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Aiden Ennis, Nico Redis, Mason Ashlock all due up here in the top of the 6th. Scoreless here in Tivy High School as the home plate umpire dusts off the plate. Still a lot of hurt feelings from the top of the 5th as AD now steps up. AD 1 for 2, a double back in the 3rd. Tenery fires the first pitch of the 6th inning, and that goes foul for strike 1. 0-1 now to AD.
Dennis has a double to his credit.
Seven hits total between the two teams. 3 for the Tigers, 4 for the Antlers. Tenery fires the 0-1. That is high for ball 1. 1-1 now on Aiden Dennis.
1-1.
Here comes the 1-1. And that is low and inside. 2 balls and a strike now to Aiden Dennis.
Dip low. 2 balls, 1 strike. We're in the 6th inning of a scoreless pitching duel.
Here comes the 2-1 now to AD. And he couldn't hold his swing. The count is even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Go around, and that's strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
The 2-2 from Tenery to AD. And he fires it. AD goes down on strikes. Strikeout number 8 for Eric Tenery. First put out here in the 6th inning.
Strike 3. One gone.
Here comes Nico. Nico tonight 1 for 2. Single in the first. Strikeout back in the third.
Radius has had a base hit.
As Nico now readies for the first pitch of this at bat. And Nico slices one in the left field. And it's bounced in front of Rhodes. And Nico is taking extra bases. Nico is going to third. Coach Payne is telling him to go. Here comes Nico. Is Nico going to get home? Nico is safe. Inside the park. Home run for Nico Ruedas. And the Tigers take the lead. That is Nico's second home run of the season.
Goes for 4 bases, and Ruedas comes around to score 1-0.
Nico
Takes a lead.
gives the Tigers the lead off the inside the park home run. Man. Here comes Mason Ashlock. After all of that.
With 1 out and a run in, here's Ashlock.
The way this game has gone, is it that shocking
Too high.
that an inside the park is the first run of this ball game? 1-0 now to Mason Ashlock. And Tenery has been pitching a beautiful game tonight.
Come out and talk it over. Infield gathers on the mound.
No outs here.
Timeout.
1 out here in the top of the 6. 1-0 Tigers.
Still open down the right field line.
Mason Ashlock with a 1-0 count on Eric Tenery.
Nachos a lot more. The Tivy Band Boosters concession stand down the right field line.
Don't forget, folks, we got a back-to-back next week. 3 games next week. First off, on Tuesday, we had the Buda Johnson for the revenge game against the Jaguars. Then on Friday, we had the New Braunfels to face off against Canyon. Saturday, in Bernie against Bernie Champion. All of those games on Vype all next week. 3 games. As Tenery is ready with the 1-0 on Mace. Nice pitch for Eric Tenery.
Fastball in there for a called strike.
Evens the count up at the ball on the strike.
1-1.
Tenery fires. Mace fouls it. A screamer off of the net. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away.
Both of these pitchers tonight, folks, you couldn't ask for anything better. Tenery with 8. Jackson Conover with 6 strikeouts. 4 hits by each club. Tenery fires the 1-2. That's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Mason Ashlock. Brandon Arvison is in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. As Tenery fires the 2-2, and Mace goes down swinging for the 3rd time tonight. 3 strikeouts for Mason Ashlock, and that's strikeout number 9 for Eric Tenery. 2 gone here in the top of the 6th, and here it comes Big B. Arvison tonight, 1 for 2. Single back in the 2nd, grounding out, back in the 4th.
Arbison out there.
1-0 Tigers.
Standing in.
Here's the first pitch for the at-bat. And Brandon Arvison pops it high.
Ball in the right center.
Lackey is underneath it, and he grabs it for the 3rd out of this inning. But Nico Ruedas with an inside the park home run to give the Tigers a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th. You're watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
There are no words to describe it. The isolation, the boredom, the loneliness. If you're wondering where your teenage son or daughter's spirit went, you're hardly alone. The past year has been devastating, especially for them. But here's the good news. They might just find it again, playing high school sports. Workouts that stimulate, teammates and coaches that care, the sense of belonging so many of us have been missing lately. That's what school sports are all about. The sense of achievement is real, and the camaraderie is hard to beat. Coping with uncertainty is difficult, but school sports can help the teenagers in your family start feeling like themselves again. Encourage them to give it a try. High school sports, it's so much more than a game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
One nothing Tigers. Jackson Conover still out here dealing. Sam Metz, Eric Tenery, and Kale Lackey, the three that are due up for the Antlers here in the bottom of the sixth as we welcome you back to Tivy High School here in Kerrville, Texas. Tigers baseball on Vype Live. Melvin Jones here with you.
Here to lead it up.
Tigers looking to go 6-2 to wrap up the first half
Sam Letts.
of district play as Sam Letts steps up to face Jackson Conover, and Jackson with a first pitch strike. 0-1 on Letts. Letts tonight 2 for 2, two singles against Jackson as Conover deals. Letts pops it up and it's high. Underneath it is Theo Howard for the first out of the sixth inning. One away, and here comes the opposing pitcher, Eric Tenery. Tenery tonight 0 for 1, striking out in the first. He was hit by a pitch back in the third.
Pitcher, Eric Tenery.
As Jackson fires strike one right down the middle. 0-1 on Tenery. Jackson tonight 6 Ks, no walks, 1 hit batsman, 4 hits. Jackson fires. Tenery fouls it to the backstop. 0-2 now. Jackson now looking for his 7th K tonight. He's up on the count. No balls, 2 strikes on the opposing pitcher, Eric Tenery. Jackson fires. That's high for ball 1. 1-2 now on Eric Tenery. Kale Lackey in the on-deck circle for the Antlers. It's Jackson. Fires. Nice hit in the right field. Goes Tenery.
Tenery lines a base hit past the second baseman.
And Tenery gets on.
And the Antlers have a base runner.
With 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
At first base.
And here is Kale Lackey. Lackey tonight 0 for 2. Popping up to Mason Ashlock in foul territory back in the first.
Tenery will head back to the dugout.
And then he popped up
Coming out
to Parker Cook back in the 4th.
Barnett now running at first base. We got 1 out.
As Lackey looks like he's ready to go.
And we got the right-handed hitting Kale Lackey to come up.
1 out, 1 on. Here in the bottom of the 6th. 5 hits for the Antlers. They trail to the Tigers 1-0. Conover fires. That's outside for ball 1. 1-0 now to Lackey.
1 ball, no strikes to Kale.
Softball defeated Bernie Champion tonight by a final score of 3-2. As Jackson gets a call strike, 1-1 now to Kale Lackey. Both boys and girls soccer are playing their playoff games tonight as well. We are looking to get scores on that as Jackson throws it over to Mace. Runner on first, one away. 1-0 Tigers here in the bottom of the 6th. And that pitch goes outside. 2-1 now on Lackey. Stormy Rhodes in the on-deck circle for the Antlers. As Conover fires. And that is fly. That is deep. Parker Cook is underneath it, and he grabs it for the second out of the inning. Second time, Parker Cook retires Kale Lackey. 2 away, and here is Stormy Rhodes. The left fielder tonight, 1 for 2. Singling back in the second, striking out in the fourth.
The man on at first. The Antler left fielder, Stormy Rhodes.
That's Jackson Conover. Against Rhodes with 1 on and 2 outs as the pitch goes foul. 0-1 now to Rhodes.
Ball game in the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 Dripping Springs.
1 on, 2 outs. And an 0-1 count to Stormy Rhodes. 1-0 Tigers. Conover fires. And Rhodes hits it. Aiden Perry fires over the Mace and puts him away. And the Tigers get out of this inning unscathed once again. The Antlers leave another runner on. And they are down to their final 3 outs. 1-0 Tigers as we head to the 7th inning. You're watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
It's been a trying year for parents. They've been confronted with countless challenges and have always risen to the occasion. If it isn't too much to ask, the 826,000 high school student athletes in Texas have one last request.
Please, set an example.
Disorderly fan conduct at high school athletic events is on the rise. It increasingly involves parents. There's no question that parents are passionate. There's no question they care about their children. But at a time when we're all wound a little more tightly than usual, it's worth remembering this about Texas high school sports. Always be a good example. Stop unruly fan behavior before it starts.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Here in the top of the 7th as we welcome you back to Tivy High School in Kerrville, Texas. As Sam Letts is going to be the new pitcher for the Antlers. Eric Tenery had a fantastic game, and that is putting it mildly. 6 innings, 4 hits, 9 strikeouts, only 1 run, the inside of Parker to Nico. Speaking of Parker, Parker Cook up to the dish for the Tigers against Sam Letts for the first time, and Letts goes low for ball 1. 1-0 to Parker. Sam Macajanian in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. Letts goes low and outside that time, 2-0 on Parker Cook. 1-0 Tigers here, the top of the 7th. Letts fires. He catches the outside corner that time. 2-1 now to Parker Cook. Letts now looks like he's ready to go. And here's a 2-1 to Parker Cook. And same location, same result. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Parker Cook. As Let's fires the 2-2 to Parker. And that is in the dirt. Full count now on Parker Cook. We haven't seen too many full counts by any pitcher tonight. I believe this may have been just the second one all night long. Here comes the 3-2 now from Sam Letts. Parker Cook swings and misses, and he strikes out. First strikeout for Sam Letts. First out here in the top of the 7th. And here comes Sam Magajanian. The Sammy Sam tonight, 0 for 1. Grounding out. Back in the 2nd. He did walk in the 5th. As Letts now ready for the first pitch against Sam. And that pitch catches the outside corner for a strike 1. 1-0 on Sammy. Excuse me, 0-1. Let's now. Ready the 0-1. That's high. Evens up the count. Ball in the strike. Matt Schindler in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. 1-0 Tigers. Top of the 7th. Let's fires. Sam pops it up, and it is high. It is going to be a chase, and it's caught out there at second by Klein. Second out of this inning. Here comes Matty Ice. Schindler tonight 0 for 2, striking out back in the 2nd, grounding out in the 5th.
2 down.
As Schindler now
Matt Schindler.
ready for the first pitch of the at-bat from Letts. And Letts fires it. And it is going to be low for ball 1. 1-0 to Matt Schindler. Schindler gets on. Theo Howard is in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. As Letts fires the 1-0. He catches the outside corner for a strike. Count is even. A ball and a strike now to Matt Schindler. Letts is taking his time. He fires the 1-1. And that is a little bit more outside. 2 balls in the strike now to Matt Schindler. Letts with the 2-1. Right down the middle for strike 2. Evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. Schindler pops it foul and out of play. Over the concession stand. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
2 gone, bases empty in the top of the 7th inning. 1-0 ball game.
Beck, Kaniche, and Blaker,
Trying to keep it close.
the ones that I do up next half inning for Kerrville. Excuse me, for Tivy. Letts fires. Matt Schindler pops it high as Rhodes is underneath it. And that is the 3rd out of this 7th inning. Antlers are down to their final 3 outs. We played 6 1/2. 1-0 Tigers. You're watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Texas.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
In to close it out for the Tigers, Jackson Conover moves over the short as we welcome you back to Kerrville, Texas, and to the campus of Tivy High School. Tigers lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. Melvin Jones back here with you. Tiger Baseball on Vype Live. That's Nico looking to close it out for the Tigers. Beck, Kanise, and Blaker, the ones that are due up for Tivy. And Tanner Beck comes up first. Beck tonight, 1 for 2. He did have a single back in the 4th.
Here we go. Bottom of the 7th, trailing by a run. Stepping in, Tanner Beck.
As Nico fires the first pitch, and Nico rolls right down the middle for strike 1 and is 0-1 now on Beck. Here's the 0-1. Beck is going to single. Nice play for Jackson. I don't think he's going to make it. And Beck makes it infield hit for Tanner Beck. And the Antlers are in business.
Good attempt by
as Jackson Conover with a great stop, just a little high.
And we're going to have a runner.
A courtesy runner coming in.
Coming out will be Wiley Flores.
Wiley Flores now the courtesy runner for the Antlers. Antlers with 1 on, no outs. Here in the bottom of the 7th. Tying run at first.
Coming out now, number 5, Hayden Kanise.
As Hayden Kanise with 1 on and no outs. He's showing bunt, and he lays it down, and he does it again! Matt Schindler
Once again, a bunt
with a play in foul territory, and a first out of the inning.
Nice play by Schindler.
Matt Schindler has been all over the field tonight.
Big play there.
First out of the inning.
1 gone. Roll the foul out to the catcher.
Second put out.
Here's the third baseman.
And Kanise was the victim. Bailey Blaker now with 1 on and 1 out. And Nico goes low for ball 1. Matt Schindler today has been the absolute defensive star for the Tigers. Nico readies the 1-0. And that's outside and goes past Schindler. And Flores advances to second. So now the Antlers with the tying run at second base and 1 away. Nico would like a strikeout right now. Or at least a pop-up. Blaker back in the box. The 2-0 coming from Nico. And he fires. And he got right there 2-1 now on Bailey Blaker.
2 balls and a strike. 1 away.
Lex Lipka is in the on-deck circle for the Antlers. Nico with a nice breaking pitch, and the count goes even. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
2-2 to Blaker.
Here's the 2-2 from Nico. And it goes up. Conover grabs it over this. And second out. Nice catch there by Ashlock. 2 away.
Throw gets him at first base. 2 down.
And now
And moving over to third.
the Antlers are down to their final out. Lex Lipka
Third now. 2 gone.
comes in.
And they'll bring up number 16.
As Flores is now at third base. The tie run,
Lipka.
90 feet away. 2 outs. Nico fires. Lipka swings and misses for strike 1 and is 0-1 on the first baseman. Here's the 0-1 to Lipka. Lipka swings and misses for strike 2.
Strike 2.
And now the Antlers are down to their final strike. Nico, the inside the park home run earlier. Could he get the save tonight? Nico fires. Lipka goes down, and the Tigers comes in to Tivy and defeat the Antlers by a score of 1-0. What a ball game this was.
The final score. Dripping Springs 1, Kerrville Tivy nothing. But what a ball game.
Great performance by both teams.
Dripping Springs.
Let's take a break. We'll give you the final numbers when we come back. Tigers win their 4th in a row. They defeat Tivy tonight 1-0. You're watching Tiger Baseball on Vype Live.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Final score tonight, 1-0 over the Antlers of Tivy. Final numbers, Tigers with run off of 4 hits, no errors. Antlers, no runs, 6 hits, no errors. Player of the game tonight, we're going to go co-players of the game because after 2 fantastic defensive plays in foul territory, we cannot deny Matty Ice of at least some attention. Chandler with 2 plays in foul territory. That was crucial and huge for the Tigers. The other one, who else could it be but Nico Ruedas? Nico with an inside the park home run back in the 6th inning. His 2nd home run of the season. Gave the Tigers a 1-0 lead. Nico then came in to the 7th inning. Closed it out for his first save of this district season. He did have one back in the Hill Country Classic. So Nico, Matty Ice, are 2 players of the game for the Tigers this evening. Our next telecast, folks, Tuesday night, as we begin the 2nd half of district play. We head to Butte, Texas to take on the Jaguars of Johnson. Coverage will begin at 6:50 right here with pregame on Vype Live. 3 games next week, all on the road. We will talk to you on Tuesday night. The Tigers finishes off the first half of district play with a record of 6-2. For everyone at our Vype Live family, I am Melvin Jones saying good night from Kerrville, Texas. Tigers win tonight 1-0. We We'll talk to you on Tuesday evening. This has been Tigers Baseball on Vype Live. Good night, folks. Have a great weekend.